Welcome to the first What the Football show, everybody. If you're within the sound of my voice, you are among friends, fans of the Washington football team, and we got a great show for you today. This is our introductory first show, and on this show, we cover all things Washington football team. And I don't do this stuff by myself, of course. Since this is an introductory show, I would like to introduce the better half of this show, BH. Welcome, BH.
Hey, thanks, Robert. It's great to be here. I'm really excited. Going to have a long season, a fun season, and going to cover so many different aspects of the Washington football team. So it's going to be good.
That's exactly right, BH. We're going to cover all the fundamentals. We're going to give you a little background on us, why we like the Washington football team. We're going to cover the upcoming schedule, which I think is vitally important, and it's the roadmap to why they're going to go all the way. We have some one-off shows for you that we're going to do. We have some live streams that we're going to do for you. Yeah. And all our segments, we're going to tell you about all those in our prediction and our recap shows. But first, we're going to roll that intro. Hit it, Charlie. All right, we made it back. We have a fantastic lineup of shows, a great season of football I personally am looking forward to. We got tons of content, all, of course, featuring who? The Washington football team. Let's start with some background on us. Me, first, I'm 60 years old. So the NFL was established then, and they also had the AFL. And then they had the merging of those two leagues, which became the NFC and the AFC. And that was kind of confusing as I was a kid, but very exciting. So when I was young, I liked the Baltimore Colts. We liked the San Diego Chargers. And then I kind of fell out of football a little bit as I was younger, and then caught back up with it here later in life, and have been enjoying it ever since. And BH is going to give us a little bit of his background.
Yeah, thanks, Robert. Kind of have the same kind of history. Then started watching NFL football 50 years ago when I was just a kid, and followed those Baltimore Colts. I glommed onto them because of Johnny Unitas. I love that name. I remember asking my dad, "Is Johnny Unitas still alive?" And Dad laughed and said, "Yeah, he's still playing, son." And I said, "Well, I wanted to know what his team was." So I became a Colts fan and attended my first Colts game, actually, in old Memorial Stadium. Freezing cold night, Monday Night Football, but it was cool. That was the first game. And from there, moved to San Diego and became a Charger fan, was there for the whole Air Coryell thing for many, many years. Enjoyed it. Was even a season ticket holder there for about 10 years. And that was great. A lot of fun. And that basically brings us to the here and now.
Now, for me, fast forward to 2013, I'm living in Seattle. That was a good year. That was the Super Bowl run. So that was a great team. I got lucky to move to Seattle at that time. So I'm following them for a while. I like Coach Carroll, John Snyder, and all the things that they're doing. And but I've had a couple issues with them over, the last couple of years. And so, like everybody else, I kind of am looking at other teams. I feel like they may have strayed slightly from what I thought they were originally doing. And so I started looking maybe for another team, one that would reflect sort of the core values that I believe wins games. A good defense, a good running game, ball control, special teams. And I like Coach Rivera. He's a rock solid coach. He's got a great history of football behind him. Everywhere he went as a player, as a coach, teams thrive. He earned tons of awards for sportsmanship, team player, just a really, really good, solid dude. But then they signed Ryan Fitzpatrick. And that's when I knew that I wanted to support the Washington football team. Then all the other things just fell into place about them. Last year's group was really, really good. Kyle Allen, Heineke, they're great backup quarterbacks. They got 2 backup quarterbacks that can run the team.
Yep.
Take it. Fitzpatrick hits the dust. Heineke picks it up. Kyle Allen can pick it up. These guys are quality football players that can carry this team all the way, regardless of what happens. They have an elite wide receiver core. They have their defense is super jacked. They got plenty of depth, and the schedule lines up. The upper management culture is being fixed. They're turning a corner. They've been through the name change thing that they're still going through. They even replaced the entire sod on the football field, all new. They won their division last year, and sure, it's a struggling division, but they still won the division.
That's right, Scrubber. They won the division. Who cares? 7-9. And to your point about Coach, I mean, not just a cancer, but man, COVID, running rampant. That hurt everybody. I get it. But that made things even harder. So yeah. And I remember Coach, back from my San Diego Charger days, when he was the defensive coordinator, and boy, everybody loved him, and everyone was bummed when he left to go to Carolina, but it was pretty much expected. I mean, we knew he was just that good. It was his chance. It was his turn. But it's great. And that's a big deal, is having him as the coach there, having Ryan Fitzpatrick. I think another thing is that even though it's an old organization, been around for a long time, great history, is we do have the new name change. It feels fresh, feels new. Washington football team. I know there's going to be another name later. They're working on that. But it does seem like a new beginning, and especially when you have such a young team, that's always a lot of fun. Watch guys grow, and this defense is monstrous and really young. I was kind of sad to see Ryan Kerrigan go. That happens, but it was time. It's time for these young guys to assert themselves and make an impact. So, yeah, I'm on board. I can't wait to see what happens.
So now we can address the ownership, management, culture cleanup for the Washington football team, which I agree the punishment was not harsh enough. Ron Rivera and the team now seem insulated from the upper management, and actually as a team went from the lowest standard ever to probably one of the highest standards a team can have. Plus the team name change, which I love. I wish they would just leave it like that. I like the name Washington football team. It's really cool. These issues all happened in the past, some like anywhere from 14 years ago to a couple years ago. So it doesn't reflect the current team operations as far as I can tell. That's why I chose the Washington football team.
That's right, Scubber. It's important. Things like, the core values that they're espousing now.
Team players.
Exactly. Team players, playing as a team. Stout defense. That's important.
Running your assignment.
Yep. Exactly. Following your coaches, keep your ego out of it. And these are things that they're actually, I think, pursuing all the time when they get free agents, when they draft people, when they get personnel in. I think all across the board. That's what they're trying to do.
Yeah, they got that. With that, that's the long season view.
Yeah.
That's what they have. Coach is real good. Running opens passing. That's vital. You have to have that. And that's what he's going to do. Yeah,
I totally agree. And I think what helps him too is that it's a balanced offense. This isn't the Kansas City Chiefs. We're not slinging the ball all day long. And then they can flip the script and use passing to open up the run game because they're not just tied to one way of doing things. So, yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it is. And they got ball control, clock management. Coach is good about all of that kind of stuff. Also, too, for us, we're not really going to talk too much about league scores or NFL news and such. You're not going to get that too much from us. And that's why we have BH here, because he's going to give it to you straight.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we're going to do some breakdowns and some film and some fantasy, but basically it's as it relates to the Washington football team. We're not going league wide with this, and because our focus is these guys, and that's how we want to keep it.
That's right, BH. Plenty of other channels out there do all kinds of content. I like a lot of them. I like Urinating Tree, That's Good Sports, Tom Grassi, Scooter Magruder, 5 Points, Chiseled Adonis, Pittsburgh Dad, Sam Gold and Brett Coleman. They lay it down really good, and probably some I'm forgetting. They're all great channels, all diverse talking points, and anybody watching this channel right here should upgrade to watching these guys' channel as well. They are really, really good. Each one of these guys has inspired us to have fun doing this stuff. I love you guys. Man, it's great. But I'm going to have to break your cleanly shaven balls a little too, in a friendly way, of course. So, and we would also like to extend an invite to all of you as well. Come on over and hang with the winners, guys. Might as well, right? Your teams aren't going to really go anywhere this year or in the next couple of years, really. Your team doesn't really listen to your divinely inspired rants, do they? Huh? Did the Giants listen to you for the draft picks? Fuck no. Everybody laughed at you, dude. Did the Broncos go out and get Minshew? Oh, my God. No, they didn't. Right? When they had the chance. And they didn't do it. Pittsburgh is going with Captain Fatfuck again. One more time. Hello. Geez, guys, really? And Packers management. What is that? Shitting all over Rodgers there. Pissing off a perennial MVP. Great optics, guys. Really, really good. And then, of course, you have Dan Quinn and Mike McCarthy. You know what I'm saying? With the Cowboys. The Saints, the Hawks. Seems like these teams just give up on their fan base. So when it's the third week of the season and your team is 0-3, or you're standing in front of an empty liquor cabinet, just the bye week, your franchise left you. That's where the term disenfranchised comes from. You see? You're smart. You're good looking. You just want to win and have fun, right? Isn't that what we all want to do? Now listen to this, okay? Football players can be free agents. Look for the best team to join for success. Why can't you or I be a free agent fan, right? Coaches go from team to team like it was nothing. Why do I have to stick with a team that's straying from the plan, right? I want to mostly run-centric offense. Think end of the year. strong defense, good basic fundamentals, kind of football team, not some Frankenstein team cobbled together with high dollar skill players and late free agent pickups. And so come hang with Scrubber and BH here. I want the football with the Washington football team. Riverboat Ron, Ryan Fitzpatrick, for Christ's sake. I mean, come on. We're just here to have fun. And when the glorious winning season is over, you can go crawling back to your home team, beg for their forgiveness, kiss and make up.
Yeah, so man, if you're in the process of, looking for another team, someone to root for, if you don't have a favorite team, maybe you just root for the NFL. Come on over here, follow this Washington football team, because you know how it is. When a team wins a Super Bowl, all of a sudden you see thousands of their fans come out of the woodwork that you'd never saw before. I mean, it's human nature. Of course, they're going to glom on and jam with that team, but get with the Washington football team now, because this team's young. They got a big window here to do great things. Get going with it now. Enjoy the ride. Don't wait for it to happen.
That's right, BH, and we are that ride. We are the vehicle of which you are going to have fun on. Man, we plan on having tons of fun this year. So, yeah, thanks for sticking with us, folks.
Yep, that's right. And hey, when you're watching these shows, get in those comments, man. Help us out. Tell us what you're thinking, what you like, things you like to see. Give us your opinion of players and coaches and the direction they're going in. We'd like to hear it.
This is the very first What the Football Show. More importantly, next week on this very channel, Thursday, August 5th at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we will do a Washington football team comprehensive 2021-22 season schedule extrava motherfucking ganza show, including the preseason, the regular season, all the way through the postseason. Whew. The show will highlight the What the Football 2021 season schedule and the 22 postseason part of the schedule, which is the roadmap to the Super Bowl 56. So be sure not to miss this particular show. The schedule show is crucial to the plan. You're smart. You get it, right? Look, just come back next week. We'll lay it all out for you. If you're not convinced, then stay with your team. We still love you. But when you're ready, come and hang with us anytime you want.
That's right, Scrubber. And it is important to go to that first show, because really, you're going to lay it out. I've seen it. We've talked about it. It'll be interesting for people to see that. And also, what's going to be great is starting with the preseason, for every game, we will do a prediction show. And then after every game, we'll be doing a follow-up to look at, see how we did, talk about what the team did. And so for every game, that'll be the pattern all season long.
That's absolutely correct. And we're going to have a lot of fun doing that. Team's going to be doing well. And we got a great format set up for all these shows too. Great segments covering lots of aspects of the Washington football team. We're really going to focus especially on the fundamentals. That is, I believe, it's the only way to make it all the way to the Super Bowl. So one of the segments we're going to be doing is on fantasy stuff. And so guiding us along the way through our fantasy stuff is going to be our boy, BH.
Yeah, thanks. It's going to be fun doing some of the fantasy stuff, as usual, as it relates to the Washington football team. A lot of it before the season begins. So as we get ready for our fantasy drafts, we're going to want to know where we can get our favorite Washington football team players, where they're being ranked, where we can expect them to be, their average draft position. So, yeah, that'll be a lot of fun, too. Add a little bit of spice to the show.
We also have a great segment on fundamentals, which is the core of what we're doing here at What the Football. We're really going to take our time, talk about the tackling techniques, special teams, yards after contact, yards before contact, clock management, and all the great fundamentals that demonstrate what a winning football team uses to make it to the Super Bowl. And then BH, of course, is going to have another segment for us called the Film Room.
That's right, Scrubber. Film Room is going to be great because we're going to highlight a lot of that stuff. And the best part is, we're not going to break it down scientifically. We're not going to wear your brains out. We're going to take specific plays that show the specific fundamentals, and then we're going to run them. And you'll see them in real time, and it's going to be really enjoyable. And we're going to tackle it from offense, defense, special teams, all that. So every week you'll be seeing Film Room.
And then, of course, we're going to have Coach's Corner, where we highlight what Coach has to say concerning strategy, play calls, clock management, all these things. We're going straight to Coach for that. And then, of course, we do the prediction segment. You want to know who's going to win, right? Okay. Well, BH and I are going to give you our honest opinion on the game's outcome. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say 17-0, although it could be. And it could be. So come back and you'll see what predictions we have. And we have a special AI that is going to do a prediction for us as well. And so BH and I will put our skills up against AI.
Also, we're going to be doing a mid-season week 9 review. That's the bye week. So we're going to have a live stream then, kind of go back over everything and then get ready for the rest of the season. And hopefully, too, we do plan on having other live streams.
That's right. We may even do a live stream for the bye week between the end of the season and the postseason if the Washington football team gets the number 1 seed. Then, if they steamroll through the postseason and we can do a live stream show, if they make it to the Super Bowl in between the end of the postseason and the Super Bowl, then we can even do a Patreon or a Zoom live, all watch it together party. And then if we make it all the way through that to the very end, win, lose, draw, I think we're going to do a one last end of the season after the Super Bowl extravaganza, live stream, have a good time, dance at the end of the season, and basically bask in the glory of the whole season. It's fun either way. I really don't care. I think we're going to have a blast.
Yep. Let's hope we get all those live streams in. Let's hope it happens that way. We'll see.
Well, there it is. All laid out nice and neat for you.
Yep. From the beginning to the end. Who knows? It could happen.
And don't forget next Thursday's show. It's the most important bar setting show we will do all season. And thanks to my brother BH. Thank you, BH. And thanks to you, the beautiful burgundy and gold. Hit it!